Okay. Hi, good morning. So today I'm going to mock interview myself again. So we're gonna record video how long I'm gonna do. Okay. I have the problem here and then I just threw it to myself on the console log. Okay. Let's set the alarm for 50 minutes. 1 second. Let me just stop here for a second. Okay, here we are. So let's go ahead to do the first problem here. Okay, the problem says declare a variable numbers and says it equal to an array containing the value to I think should be only 1.2, 2.1, and 2.4. Okay, what I'm seeing here, so I'm going to use constant to declare a number variable. We're gonna store an array because we know that array is not going, it can mutate, so it's more safe to use the constant to declare it because we know array is passed by values. Okay. So the second one, 1 second, that's the problem here. Okay, here we are. The problem said create a function passed by that accept an array and a callbacks and return an object. Group by will iterate through the arrays and perform the callback on each element. Each return values, okay. Each return values from the callback will be served as a key on an object. The values associated with the key will be arrays consistent of all the elements that resulted in the arrays in the return values when passed into the callback. Okay, here we are. We have okay. So here we are. So let me try to understand the problem here. Create a function. So what we know that input, what we see input will be array and a callback and output. Output will be an object with associate from the callback. Okay, so what I'm saying here, so let's just customize here. Okay, I see we create a function group by, so let's just go ahead to place it here and then uncomment. So before I'm doing that, I'm going to declare create a just do two sort of code, right? Functions, create a function that accept that take array and a callback. And inside a function, we know that we need to have okay, let's check for sure. We have to have declare and empty object with will store the result. Okay, so let me try to here. Okay, then they said each array will perform the callback on each element. So what we're gonna do here, we're going to iterate through arrays and perform the callback on each element, and then inside array, I'm gonna do something with a callback here, because what I see in here, we want to keep track on the cache callback. So when the problem says when we call the callback, we want to save key to cache to an object, right? To object with key will be callback on each element, okay? And then we're gonna check here the values will be associated key with an array, okay? So it's like the key, right? And then value will be array. Will be array. And okay, the key will be, as we pass in, the key will be the key will be called from the callback, and then the value will be the values we associate with each key will be an array consisting of each element. The result return value passed into the, okay, the value will be we pass in, and then like on our test case, yeah. So each key will be array, and right. Okay, so first of all, I think what I'm gonna check if to reassign, I mean to fill, not reassign, like to fill the object what we create at the first time with empty object. So what we're gonna do in here, I'm gonna check if object has key not has any key. So what we're gonna do here, we just save key with key, and then is callback, callback and save as a key, and then with key and value, right? And then otherwise, what we're gonna do here, we're going to if they already have exist, so we return object. I think so. So that's like, I believe my course is gonna be like that. So I'm going here to write a body function. So it's gonna name function group by, and then group by I create with arrow function. So what we're gonna accept here, we pass in arrays and a callback. Okay. Just say name CB. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then inside the body here, I said I'm going to declare a cache object. Cache object we're gonna assign to empty array. And then inside I'm going to create a for loop by using it initialize I first is set to 0, and then it iterate condition will be I at least in array.length, and then it iteration I'm going to increment I by 1, and then we will going to do something inside here. Okay, outside here, just go ahead to return my cache object. Before then, I don't want to forget. So inside the for loop, what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna check if cache cache already has an object. What I'm gonna pass in here, I'm gonna pass callback. That's we're gonna perform array at current element. So it's mean gonna be key, right? If they already exist, if they didn't exist. So let's doing that, and then if they didn't exist, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna make a key at the values. I'm going to fill the value to a cache object as a key. Okay, so if they already exist, so what I'm gonna do here is just call back. If they didn't exist, so what I'm gonna do is just call back and pass in here, same that one, and pass in array dot array as current element as a key, right? And what gonna do it here? So we're gonna set a key with arrays as element, and we know that the value should be object. So what I'm gonna do, I just use curly bracket notation to pass in arrays to fill in array at current element. So this one gonna be key and value pair if they already exist. Otherwise, if they didn't exist, what we're gonna do, we will perform the key value pair by key gonna be called back and pass in current element, and then the value will be the object with current element from the arrays. Okay, so and then otherwise, if they already have, what we're gonna do here, we're going to we're gonna perform the other key and push it to the call to the object itself. Okay, so what I gonna do here? So I will pass in. Okay, key is already exists, right? So array dot index I. So that's gonna we have cache, and then already have key. So if we're gonna push array as current element I to here. So before I'm doing anything, so just let me go ahead to console log to see what my cache object look like. Okay, hash, so it's not want to make mistake. Okay, so let's run the code to see here. Okay, on line 25 callback is not defined. Okay, because I naming that is wrong. So I said name is callback. So let me just go ahead to change it here. Okay, so let's see. I try to see it here. Okay, so let's just run the code to see. Okay, so it's correct answer. That's great. Okay, go ahead to the next problem. Okay, the next problem is, let me just uncomment this one. Define a function is palindrome that take a string and return a Boolean value, indicating whatever the string is palindrome. A palindrome is string that have the same values with reverse, or for example, level or regard. Okay, first of all, I'm going to define my input will be string and output will be Boolean. Okay. Okay, let me just move a little bit. I cannot see. Okay. I'm going to create a function. The function is palindrome, right? A function that takes a string input, and then inside them I'm going to I think in this case we can use a recursive one. So let me check my base case. So we know we work with the base case. So base case will be string. Okay, if string has no length. 1 second, let me check it. Okay, I want to compare string. So base case gonna be string is string is empty or only one letter. This one will be return true, and otherwise another base case I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna check compare is one, compare the first letter with the last letter, if not equal, will return, this one going to return false. Okay, and then recursive case, we know that we're gonna do something with the call function itself. So recursive case, I'm gonna invoke is palindrome func and pass in new input. So new input, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use sing slide. Okay, 1 second, let me check. Okay, if string is M3, so is iteration will do. Okay, first of all, before I'm going to do anything, I'm gonna assign string input with all to get out of symbol and to lowercase. Okay, to lowercase. Okay, so and then yeah, we do that and we check if string is empty or only one length, we return true. And then for recursive case, we want to check if string on it, check from last and okay. So I'm going to use slide to slide from the last one, the end of the string and the first of the string, and then each time when function is called, they're gonna compare each iteration, each character, each letter, and then if they're not compared, they're gonna hit base case with they're not equal to slide method. Okay, so just go ahead. This one we're going to return to. Okay, returns. Okay, just go ahead to code it now. So I'm going to call the function is palindrome. Name the function is palindrome. Okay, just let me. Okay, 1 second. Is palindrome. Okay, and then I'm going to pass string as parameter, and then I'm going to do something inside here. Before of anything, just want to do my test case console log and call the is palindrome. So okay, 1 second. Is palindrome, and I'm going to pass in string. Okay, like example level. This one we should return true. And let me just copy and go ahead to do another test case. It's a less. Okay, that's it. Okay. What the other one should be? Okay, if empty string return true, if level return true, if one letter return true. So if another one like, okay, I love Cosmith and friend and blah, 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 blah. This one should return false. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead here. After we have our test case now, let me go ahead to follow my pseudocode here. I say that I'm gonna reassign the string original. So what I'm gonna do here using replace and then use regex. What I remember here gonna be not sure that okay, so regex to get it up all letter. And then I'm going to place empty string here. So then string gonna have all together, not have any spaces and not have any symbol. And then what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna replace and transform them to lower case. Okay, so I think let me just console log to see if my string is already changed. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay, okay, string already changed, and I think So jump to my base case. First, I said if string dot length, if string is empty, and or string dot length okay is 0 or 1. Okay, that's only 1. Okay, then I'm going to return true. Otherwise, another one. I think what I should do here is just going to return and compare string with the first index. So string dot in first index and string dot link. Oh no, I want to access string dot the last one, so should be using bracket notation. String dot length and -1. That's we gonna get the first index and the last index. And then what I'm going to compare here, I'm going to use AND operations to compare with the function itself, function invocation itself. And then I'm going to pass in string the one I already reassigned and use slides. And then it's just slide from the first letter and the last letter. What I'm doing here, because we know that the AND operations, they both should to be AND. If one is false, it's just return false. So that's why I didn't follow my pseudocode here, because I want to compare by just using AND operations with at the same time we can invoke the function itself. So let me run my code here. I think it should work. Yeah, okay, that's true, and the end is return false. So that's I'm making something wrong here. Okay, sorry. I mean, I should say if they're both not equal here. Okay, okay, true, false. True. Okay, so if they're both equal and it's calling, so it should be return original, the result. And if they're not, okay, 1 second, let me work this out here. I mean, base case compare the first letter and the last letter, if not equal in return false. But because if they equal and they score until they don't have any, so okay, I think that should work. So actually, I try to do it here. If I show you another way, what we can do, like follow my pseudocode, right? So I just return, move it down here, and then return function itself with sliding each time function is called. And then this one I compare, right? If they both not, mean them not. Okay, this one to return. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I put spell wrong, right? Okay, that just doesn't work. Okay, 1 second. What I doing wrong here? Oh, okay. This one I should return false. Okay. Okay, it's just missing some the keyword return. Okay, that's what. But let me just do here, read the code I do here. And I think I should change my pseudocode to be like recursive function, right? Invoke, okay, with the recursive one. Going to, actually it should be base case too, this one, but I just return is the same time. So what I'm doing here is string index 0, and if they both same, so and this one is same, right? Otherwise they just return false, because if not string equal, so then return false. Okay, next one. Okay, the problem said, why is not, okay. The problem says, create a function, checker logger that takes one argument, a function that returns a Boolean value. Okay, the return functions, let me just enter it here. Create a function, checker logger that takes one argument, a function that returns a Boolean. Okay, so, okay, the return function should have the following behavior. Okay, if function is invoked with an argument, the callback is invoked, Boolean result is returned. If the function is invoked, the callback function chooses return. Okay. Okay. If the function is invoked with any argument, instead return count of number of the time the callback function is invoked. So, and return true or false. Okay, let's try to understand the problem. Inputs, we know that we're gonna have input with callback. Okay, and output will be what I'm saying here. The output will be return function. So this one we work with closure. And then because closure return function in a consistent, closure is consistent memory, Okay, and then the functions will return funcs with an Boolean or object. Okay, so like we see in here, we're going to create a function that take a callback. Okay, that's that. And then inside here, I'm going to declare a cache object assigned to empty object. And then we're going to declare a function with with or without argument. And then what is say here? Like if function invoked with argument, the callback function invoke. And okay, if functions have an argument, the callback function is invoked and its Boolean result is returned. Okay, if functions has, okay, so it's like if we have function is in turn, we check if has argument. So we will return Boolean. Okay, and if not, callback function is invoked. Okay, this one like will, if have argument, will invoke callback and will return Boolean. If not, if no argument, will invoke. Okay, one second. If the function is invoked without any argument, instead of return count, instead return a count of number of time. In this case, so we're gonna invoke functions and count value of the time we call right? Okay, has been invoked. How many times invoked? Evaluate to true or false. Okay, how many times we invoke is evaluate to true or false. Okay, and then we just return function. Okay, we will do something inside here. Okay, first we invoke. Okay, I think we're going not empty object. So, and the this object, okay, with key will be key with true and false. Okay, so then we can do something here. If argument has arguments, if the functions has arguments, we invoke functions and return boolean true or false. And if no argument, we're gonna do invoke function and perform once again. The function invoked without any argument instead return the count. So we're going to perform cache object with count time as a key. Okay, is invoked as a key value pair. Okay, and then we return. So going to go ahead to create a function. Name function is checker logger and pass in callback. Okay, and then the callback will the function inside will do something. So we before that we're going to declare cache object, and then I'm going to have a key with 0 and pair for. It's gonna be 0 as well, and then we can do something with the key value pair inside there. We can count it, and then I just go. I'm not going to declare function, so I just return a function and then pass in argument, and just use arrow function here, which is gonna return. Okay, and then inside here, what's it gonna do? We're gonna check if cache has there's already have value pair. So if already cache, right? This one, what we're gonna do if already have cache value pair, if cache is already called. Okay, if okay. Sorry, I mean if argument, okay, let me check. Not that if has argument invoke. Okay, so the function invoke with argument, the callback function is invoked, that should be boolean true or false. Okay, so what's it gonna do here? If argument here, so it's not undefined. So what I'm gonna do here? Gonna return CSE. Okay. Oh, let me find check it out. The callback function invoke is will return true or false. Okay, true or false. Okay, so we have to call the function, and then we pass in argument, and then we set it to cache. With key will be true. True or false. This will be boolean true or false from the callback function. And this what we're gonna set if they already have. So we add 1 to. Okay, if we have pass in come back, and then we need to add 1 to. So it's gonna increment callback to I know increment value to okay, here we are. And then the second one, otherwise it said else. Okay, just let me back to here. I think I not want to mess with that. so what this one gonna be? If this one we're going to cache. So what we're gonna do here, if not the while, we just return gs, no? Cache. Okay, so it's just, okay. Okay, this one we should return if there had no parameter. If there are no parameter, if no arguments, what we're gonna perform, we want to add one to it. And then if not, we just return Boolean. Otherwise, we just return Boolean. So what's it gonna do here as key? So key gonna be called back here. So as this one. So I think what I'm gonna do here is just console log. Console log to see my cache object. Okay, let's run code to see. Okay, we return true, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so that one we're not correct here. We return 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so it looks like I'm missing something here. Okay, so what's it gonna do checking here? If they had no parameter, we return object. Okay, so I should return inside here too. We return object with the key value pair. Okay, that's not correct. Okay, this one we should return only cache. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just set here. Okay, that's not correct. We're going to return true. Okay, I'm stuck now. Let me try to work this. Okay, if we have not called any, if argument not have, we return cache. Okay, so I think what I do here. Okay, that's correct. And then otherwise, if there argument, right? Okay, otherwise, if there any argument outside here, what we're gonna do, we gonna create name and call back, and then pass in argument. We're gonna increment I key value pair by 1, and then we return. So let's just go ahead to console log cache. Okay, so I think I already increment cache here, and I still not return. So what I'm gonna do here, I just return cache with the value pair. Okay, 1, count 1 to it, so return is correct. So what I'm gonna return here, if I return cache, what I'm going to return key. I want to return only key. So what is gonna accept key? If I do something like this, it's gonna return my values, sorry. Okay, so I think what I do here, I'm gonna do true, right? I'm gonna return true is only key. I'll return the true or false. No way. Gonna return Oh, okay. Sorry. I mean, yeah, I need to just return callback itself to get true or false. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh, my missing. Okay. So let me work this out. Okay. Return function. If no argument, you invoke. If no argument, if we have no argument, okay, I think first of all, my code is to check here. If no argument, we perform callback with count time as a key at pair. If had argument, we invoke callback with the routine boolean. That's it. I just switching. Okay, that's good. Okay. The next one, the rare function get length that return the length of a string. Accomplish this without using any loop native JS or any length property. So we know that we need to work with a recursive one because not need any things, any method from JavaScript JS. Okay, so what I know, my input will be string, right? And output will be a number. Okay, so first I'm going to create a function. Sorry. Create a function, get length, take string, add argument. And then inside there, we know we work with recursive one. We have to have base case. Base case will be if string if string is not have any index or element, return one. And otherwise, what we're gonna do is recursive case. What we're gonna do here, we just invoke get length, pass in new string. Okay. And then the string return pass in string. I think before then I just need to declare default. Default index, set it to 0. So then I pass in, I gonna increment index by 1. Okay, that's my pseudocode. Okay, go ahead to write. I'm going to use code is now get length and say string. And then as I said, I'm going to declare variable or default value as I set it to 0, gonna be that string. So we will do something with the string. Let me just name count index. So then I'm going to check if string, if not string, and then string ing had not index, right? Why is not change color for me? Okay, string had not length, so we return index, and then for recursive case 1, we're going to return get length, cell and path in string, and then what we're gonna do here, index add 1. Okay, and then just console log to see if my function gonna work here. So pet and string. So hello, how are you? So what I gonna check here should be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. It's quite like long. Okay, if I didn't pass in anything, this one should return 1. And for making sure if I'm not making mistake, what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to just pad into link. So it should be return true. Just run the code here. Okay, that's syntax error here. Okay, I'm missing arrow function. Okay. Okay, that's what good. Okay, that's one should return 0. Next one. Okay, what is that one mean? Okay, give a string, compute recursively a new string where all the lowercase x character have been moved to the end of the string. So we know that we're going to work with recursive case again. So let me just go ahead to nx, right? We're going to create an nx function. Nx function. So we pass in string. Just name it string, and then so I just write the body function here. 1 second. So what we're seeing here, we're gonna use have our base case. Okay, let me work this out. My base case, we know input will be string, and output will be string also. Okay, but string with n x. We made x, we remove x to the end of the string. So it looks like we have to do something with, let's see what we're gonna do. I'm going to do something here with result and set it to empty string. And then, it's not easy one. Create a function, function x, take a string input, and then we know we have to have base case, and just restart recursive case. Okay. Recursive case gonna be, okay, let me check here if, I think it's called if string is empty. This one we return result with empty string because we have nothing to see, right? And then let me write down here if string is empty. What about if string is have like ABC? This one just return the original one, ABC. Okay, so that's base case. So what we're gonna do here, the result should keep track. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do another one, I'm gonna have count and start from 0. So I think the recursive ones, if we met count and then remove, if we miss slide, so that's like if we have, if we met x, we take x out. We're gonna take it out. If we move to and then slide by 1, and then we see if I do using slides, how to remove. Okay, so just me go ahead to, you say share my screen. Yeah, okay. Let's let me go ahead to write that how to remove letter to the end of string in JavaScript. What we're gonna use here. Okay, method to remove last character from the string. Method to remove the last character of the string. Okay, no. We don't want to move that. We have set X is color text, and then if we see remove last character, remove text from the string in JavaScript, né? This one I think. So how we remove text? Okay, I think maybe I missed something. Okay, I think how to remove letter from the string input. String JavaScript. Okay, so how to remove letter from string? Okay, what method we going to use here? Let's work it out. Okay, it's running now. Okay, how we going to remove string? Okay, it looks like we need to use replace. If we have G, we replace. No, we cannot do that. We cannot use replace because if replace, we're gonna replace X with empty. Replace X with empty and then add X2. No, I don't think I can use that one. How to remove text from string? How to remove character from string input? I know that is like I have to use substring method, substring. Okay, what is substring mean and what is substring? Substring. So let me check it here. Substring output will be substring. A substring. String dot substring. This one remove the last and the first. Okay. String dot substring. What string dot substring using for? Okay, substring is kind of like remove first character. Okay, that we pass in here. A or that one we remove the first letter. It's kind of slides, right? Okay, this one we pass in. How you do that? Like split, sprite, slide one. Okay, slide one is get to one. Slide one. And the last one we not get. So it cannot be slide, maybe. If we guess, we publish off, if we met, if we see that we met the XX, from this one, if we meet X, if we see X, we take it off and push in the last one. How are we going to use this one? Okay, I think string. This case. Okay, my time runs out now, so I just stop. I cannot solve this problem. I will do later. Okay.